By the end of today's video, you're going to know exactly what to do to get the best results possible for your particular body. Whether your goal is to lose weight, tone up, or build muscle, this simple test will really help you get a better understanding of where your body's at right now and how to move towards your desired body type. There are those that claim that there are no body types and that everything is measured by hard work in the gym and hard work in the kitchen. And having been a trainer for over 10 years, I can tell you that that's complete nonsense. And this is proven by science. It is true that nobody should be obese. However, everybody has their own weight set point. People store fat in different places. Some people store more fat in their stomach area. Other people store it more in their thighs, in their chest. And we also have different shapes to our muscle bellies. Different lengths, different thicknesses, different lagging muscle groups. The point is, people really do come in all different shapes and sizes. Again, this doesn't mean that you should be obese, but it does mean that we can identify the shape or size that you're at by certain characteristics and apply certain training principles that are proven over time to work to move you towards your desired body shape. Okay, so let's start with the test. The way that this test works is I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and you're going to answer A, B, or C, and either write it down, or if you have a good memory, you could just remember it, because the letter that you answer with the most often will help you identify what your body type is by the end of the test. It's a simple test, and I'm sure you'll be surprised with the results. First question, do fitted jeans generally feel A, snug, but not too tight around your butt, B, loose around your butt, or C, tight around your butt? Pick the description that best fits your body. Second question, if you wrap your hand around your wrist, does your middle finger and your thumb A, barely touch, B, overlap, or C, they don't touch? Next question, would you characterize yourself as having A, a natural V-shaped body, B, a naturally very lean, skinny, long frame, or C, a naturally wide, heavy frame? The fourth question requires a measuring tape, so if you want to come back to it and leave it blank for now, you can. But I highly recommend you do this one because it's very accurate. Is your chest measurement between 37 and 44 inches? That's A. B, under 37 inches, or C, over 44 inches. When you get a measuring tape, seriously do this one. The fifth question is, how would you rate your metabolism? A, fast, but you don't have a problem building muscle. B, so fast that it makes it difficult to put muscle on. Or C, slow. Next question is in relation to gaining weight. A, is it easy for you to gain muscle, but you don't typically gain too much fat? You may even see some ab definition while bulking. B, you have trouble gaining muscle and gaining fat. In fact, if you finally do gain a couple pounds, your body fights to return you to your normal weight. Or are you more of a C, where it's easy for you to put on muscle, but it's also very easy for you to store fat, especially around your midsection and your love handles? Question number 7. Does your upper body resemble an upside down triangle? That's A. B, a rectangle that's vertically long and horizontally narrow. Or C, a square or a round shape? 2 more questions, guys. Do you have an A, narrow rib cage thinner than your wider collarbones? B, a narrow rib cage as narrow as your narrow collarbones and your narrow hips? Or C, a thick blocky rib cage as thick as your collarbones and your thick hips? And the last question, which body type do you look more like in the mirror? A, B, or C? If you've answered A to the majority of the questions, you're in the mesomorph stage right now, meaning you have a V-taper appearance. If you answered B to the majority of your questions, then you're an ectomorph with more of a narrow, lanky body. And if you answered C, then you're considered an endomorph with a wider, thicker body. Now, before I go any further, I want to say that you're not stuck in your body type. That kind of thinking leads people to giving up and not working as hard at making the necessary changes to change your body type. And then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't care if you're the hardest hard gainer in the world. You can eat enough and drink enough soda if that's what it takes to spike your insulin levels to have you gain some weight. You may always struggle with building more muscle mass, but with enough work ethic and enough food, you can achieve a mesomorph looking body. If you're an ectomorph, focus on eating a diet high in protein and very high in carbohydrates to constantly be spiking your insulin levels. That's why I mentioned the soda, for example, because having a couple cans of soda per day seriously works for real hard gainers. Drinking soda throughout the day is not a healthy long-term plan, but for a short term, for a bulk, it will spike your insulin levels and it'll help you gain some weight. Predominantly, your high-carb diet should be comprised of healthy carbs like brown rice, sweet potatoes, quinoa, buckwheat, barley, couscous, and Ezekiel bread, not soda. But mixing some high-carb beverages can really help you gain some weight. As an ectomorph, try to lift heavy weights and stay away from cardio while bulking. If you happen to be an endomorph, on the other hand, you don't have any trouble gaining weight at all. By the way, endomorphs are typically very strong. Most of the world's strongest men are endomorphs. These are people that can squat cars. You won't typically see ectomorphs or people like Maurice Pujanowski, who's a rare mesomorph. You won't typically see those guys on the world's strongest man. So there is an advantage to being an endomorph, and you have to ask yourself, what's more important to you? Is it strength or is it aesthetics? If you want to move towards a more aesthetic mesomorph looking frame, you should focus on doing a cut where you have moderate levels of protein, low levels of carbs, because endomorphs tend to be carb and insulin sensitive, and a moderate to high fat diet, depending on how low your carbs are. You should also limit rest days. While a mesomorph can get away with 3 workouts a week for maintenance, as an endomorph, you may want to try skipping rest days and instead throwing in some cardio. Last but not least is the mesomorph. Aesthetically speaking, your goal is more or less to maintain or gain some muscle while maintaining or losing some fat. To bulk, you can increase calories, including carbs, pretty freely. And cutting can be as simple as throwing in occasional fasts and occasional bouts of cardio. Remember, whatever your body type is right now, there are benefits and advantages to each body type. And when you seem to be stuck at a certain shape, or even if you're in between 2 different body types, you can move towards your ideal body type just by putting in the work consistently. That's it, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. To all my endomorph and mesomorph subscribers that are looking to either lose some weight or cut down and lose some body fat, visit my website, gravitytransformation.com, where we're running a free 6-week challenge right now where people lose an average of 20 pounds or 5% body fat in 6 short weeks. I'll see you guys soon.